Hey everybody, this is Susie Schulten with Midget Realty. I am currently standing in front of a 112 Eagle Drive in Colington Harbor, basically Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. It is end of August. Just finished up with Hurricane Erin out here, and we are here today to see this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,865 square foot home that was built in 1990. This property is currently listed for $465,000. It is vacant, no rental income to this property. We got a good look at the yard here. It's nice. Colington is a nice subdivision if you've never been back in here. Most of the homes are on water. This one is not, which is part of the reason for the price point. You do get home delivery of mail here, unlike some places, and you'll have to forgive we drove the beater car today because Hatteras Island still has salt water on the road. A nice big old fig tree over there in the corner. This house is listed for sale by Tammy Russell of Keller Williams Realty. Nice driveway. We just met one of the neighbors. She was super sweet. Said that a single woman had owned this home, and that when her car disappeared, they figured she had passed. The size of that pine tree is just absolutely massive. Here's a look around. Very nice. Most of the houses right around here all look to be well cared for. This neighborhood is a good mix of rental and residential. I would have to say, actually, it's probably more residential. A rose bush here. I don't know what's going to happen to the boat in the yard. Now, this side of the house is a little bit closer over here to the neighbor. You do have parking. You can park under the house and get in the house through a dry entry, and we will look at that. The front deck has been redone. I think most of the decks have been redone with like a Trex. But the spindles are painted, and that's going to be something that either you have to power wash it off or continue to paint. The landscaping is minimal landscaping. Oh, there's another fig tree growing down in there. They will spread. These fig trees spread everywhere. The figs are edible. The birds love them. Snakes love to be in there. The house is coated with vinyl siding, and you will be able to see in some areas that it has faded some. Here's a good look at the backyard from the side. We will go in and walk down those stairs because they have these cinder blocks here holding the gate, and I don't want to disturb those. But yeah, it's just a lot of fading on the siding. And you can see the deer have been all over. This ground is churned up almost like there have been pigs, but it's all little deer feet, and they are just loving these figs. So yard is big but not huge. Parking is ample in the driveway. Come around this side of the house and you can see, your neighbor's close here. Property line is probably right here down the side, and another fig. All right, here is that roof area on the side. Ooh, might be able to get, this is a little low. Like, I can touch this with my hand without even standing up on my toes. This door comes out of that screened in area, and it is blocked by some cinder blocks. So again, won't be using that. Here we go. We can get into the backyard this way. Let's check out this little funky shed roof thing. It is pulling away up there, sort of, kind of. Let's see if I can zoom it. Definitely something to be checked out by a home inspector. Looks like at some point they had their satellite dish sitting up there, and looks like it's dropped down onto this little shed. Let me look under here and see. Because of the underskirting, I can't really see what's going on. But you can see here where that is pulling out, and it looks like maybe. Well, we can look on the inside, but it looks like screws or nails. And that looks to be the problem, because this area down here looks okay, but that down there is definitely pulling away. Something that could potentially be fixed. The backyard is not huge. You do have a privacy fence back here for the neighbor. You do have some stairs. So there's more side yard than backyard. And here's the other neighbor. So their backyard is open to this backyard. And there, again, it's a little tight. Another rose bush, more figs. Looks like she was sprinkling things. Here's HVACs. Let's see if we can get a date. No, I can't see back there. But condition of the HVAC looks all right. So we've talked about this in previous videos, but if you haven't watched those, surface rust, not a worry. That I don't care about. The whole cage can fall apart. That's protecting those fins and coils inside, and they are in great condition. Carrier's a good brand out here, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of deterioration on that. Here's a Goodland. We see this brand quite a bit as well. And it's dirty. Like, I don't know how well this shows up. Those need to be cleaned to be more efficient, but otherwise they're in fairly good condition. There's a little bit of deterioration starting around the bottom there, but nothing that looks like, oh my gosh, that needs to come out. All right. Yeah, I don't see any other spots that make me worry about. Sorry. About that little roof area. But it's really hard to see up under there to see what's going on. But I mean, I really feel like that spot at the end where it's pulling away is starting to cause the problems. All right. So again, you could park under here, walk into this area where the hot tub is. And this is concrete. Nice high ceilings in here. The hot tub is definitely staying. It works, they say, except for the blower motor. Everything else works. I can smell the chlorine, so they're definitely keeping it chlorinated. You do have a little shed out here. The light is on, but it is really dark and dirty, but it doesn't smell damp or anything. And they've definitely been storing things. They've got a nice pulley system for storing things up high, which is great. Just for getting more storage space. Outdoor shower. And a little place to put your clothes. Everything needs a good clean. And it even looks like there's a pulley here. You can open that up for better airflow through here, which is nice. Another little storage space. And then you can go dry entry into the lower level of the house this way. Now there is carpet on this level. Most of the house has LVP, but this has some carpet down here. You will find the washer dryer in this level. I'm not sure when they were used last. The dust is cracking me up. But lots of, homemade shelving in here. There is a commode, so half bath as well. Popcorn on the ceiling in here. And in here is the central vac and the hot water heater, which looks to be newer. The plumbing up there is new, and it has one of those regulator tanks on it. It does not have a hole. Oh, there we go. All right, so let's see. Yeah, there's no hole in the floor for this thing. If it does overflow into that pan, it's not going anywhere. May want to consider doing something like that. Don't see too many central vacs out here. They've got a little desk set up down here. But otherwise, I'm not really 100% sure what you do with this space. Windows are wood clad and dusty as heck. Wood clad Andersons. All right, let's head on up the stairs. Here we get into the LVP flooring. There's the main front door. So let's check that out. Let's go out onto that deck and check that out. So it's just a very tiny deck, but it gives you a good view of the yard. Just a space to come up. And again, that is the like a Trex type. Railings are sturdy. It's just a paint job. Now Colington does have an HOA. You can pay just the minimal HOA fee, or you can pay to join the pool and yacht club. See, there's a window there that is fogged. That is in the bedroom, I believe. So come in the front door here, the main door, and you have a bathroom right on your right. Definitely original 1990s style popcorn ceiling. It does have, I don't know, it feels like tile floor with a commode, little corner cabinet here, and a shower, which is tiled on the wall, and then a regular tub. This is on the front side of the house, and that also is shared into this bedroom. It's a good sized bedroom, lots of closet space in here. They're not very deep closets, but there are two, his and hers, closets. And you have two windows here on the front that are fogged. Now, they're Andersons. You can probably just replace the glass as long as the cranks and everything work. Anderson will come out, test all of the windows, and give you a replacement cost for what it needs to be done. They also have the contractors to come and do it. So really nice to work with. Carpet in here is newer carpet and matches in with the LVP. So that bedroom enters into the full living area. You have air handler here for one of the HVACs. Kitchen would then be to my left. There's a pantry closet. Kitchen has solid surface countertops, the stove right here in the center. Cabinets are probably original, but they look like if you wanted to paint them, you could. Awning style windows again with the cranks. I have those kind of windows in my home. That's why I know Anderson is great about it. They came out, they checked all of the hardware, ordered all of the hardware, replaced all of the hardware, and now the windows work like a dream. And my house was built in '89. So we have had some panes replaced, just the glass. They did that work. They did the crank work. The crank windows are awesome here on the coast because the wind blows them shut when we have a storm. They're not like the double hungs that can be popped apart. HVAC is running. It all feels really nice and cool in here. Sink could be redone. But again, all the countertops are solid surface. Here is the dining room area, or what they have set up as the dining room area. And you have that see-through fireplace that kind of stands right there in the middle. Fireplaces out here are nice because the houses really never get that warm if it gets really, really cold. So the fireplace does help, can heat this whole place. Now, this is a massive deck off of the dining area. These are not wood railings. These are vinyl. Let's see. This one's sturdy there. Let's check out this one. Yep, this one seems to be sturdy as well. Yeah, a little loose there, but that is the worst right there, that freestanding post. Again, Trexy type of material. I don't know that it's Trex. It does look like it has the appropriate nailing for Trex. There's a little bit of a dip here and there, but for the most part it looks all right. And then the Trex stairs down, but that, don't hang on to that. All right. This one's not as bad. There's a good view. That shed has little skylights in it. And You can see that the house is probably, when this siding was put on, like a peach. And you can see how close you are to the neighbors. Again, they look like year-round people. Looks like some kids in that one. This looks like a really nice yard, but there's a pooper scooper, so probably a dog. You can see down. Let's back up and look at this. It's in good shape, the siding and the soffits. Here, somebody's banged into this, but they've taped it up. Lots of extravagant lighting in here. They spent some money on the lights. In the hall. All right, here's the fireplace area. It is currently, they have a fake little candelabra in there. Definitely looks like a wood burning fireplace. I don't know if it's been converted, but definitely wood burning, and looks in good shape. I don't have much experience with these see-through ones. I'm not really sure. So it's a decent sized room, but where do you put the TV? Again, popcorn ceilings. That's just a decoration item. It's not a window problem. Yeah, interesting space. This house does not come furnished. I have a feeling this is just stuff that was bought for staging. Let's head on up the stairs. Carpet on the stairs. And this is where we find the 2 additional bedrooms and a balcony. So let's go check out the balcony first. This looks like storage. Oh, there we go. Yep. Storage under the eaves here. Very nice. Lots of storage. Great. Most of our homes don't have that kind of space. This deck out here is coated with a solid surface, a rubberized coating of some kind, like a rhino liner. Not really a view of anything. And these railings you don't have to worry about being loose because they're walls. Looks to be okay. I didn't see any leaks or anything downstairs. It's a little bit of some bubbles. I don't know what that means. They don't compress. A little wasp nest. All the ceilings look to be in good shape. We've had some sort of issue here at some point. You can see where there was some sort of water damage that's been repaired. That could have been an HVAC leak because you do have HVAC up here somewhere with that air handler return right there. All right, and that would be access to that attic space. So air handler overflows. It's happened in my house. Here we are in bedroom number 2. Carpet in the bedroom. Walls up here are nice and flat. As far as texture, no texture. Closet in this bedroom is just a standard size. I love how they did the shelves in here, man. They reinforced those shelves. The tape pops that we see along the top of the ceiling, that's really common. That doesn't worry me so much. All right, bathroom up here. So this would be the second full bath. Again, you have that tile. It's like a tile on the floor. They've matched it somewhat on this countertop. Awesome 90s light bar. And then this is a full tub surround. Don't know what that is in the wall there, but And then bedroom number 3. That is a huge bed in this room. Window, again, another fogged window, but doesn't just means that the gas has been released between the panes. And here's this closet. I love the handiwork. Again, not huge, but you do have all that extra storage space at the front of the house in that attic space. More tape pops, not unusual here. And I just have to note too, check out all of the switches. They're all coated with something. This one has little birds. This one has lighthouses. It makes it like almost impossible to find the switch. But they're everywhere. All right. That about wraps up the tour of 112 Eagle Drive in Colington, Killable Hills, North Carolina. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I am happy to answer what I can. There is a film on that door just for sun purposes that makes this floor look kind of greenish. When I opened the door, the floor did not look faded or greenish, so that's just an illusion. Hope you've enjoyed this video and my video tour of this house. And go and have a great day.